Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some more Symphogear. Last time was the Bloodstained Serenade, where Shirabi and Kirika decide to enter the karaoke contest themselves, singing one of Zywing's songs so that they can win Chris's pendant. Meanwhile, armed forces approach a warehouse where Maria and Natsuji are hiding, but are confronted by Veer and his noise army. Maria breaks down when she sees Veer mercilessly kill a group of children who happen to stumble upon the base, prompting Nasaj to have Sarabe and Kirika retreat before they can be declared winners. Hibiki, Tsubasa, and Chris briefly catch up to them, questioning why they would fight when they seem to enjoy singing, to which they say that they will settle things in a duel. They are called to HQ, where it is revealed that Hibiki and Maria Gungress share the same resonance pattern. Meanwhile, Natsuji recalls how Maria's sister, Serena, had used her superb song to stop a rampaging Nephilim prototype, ending her life in the process. Later that day, the girls head to the former site of Kandigar for their arranged duel, only to find Veer, who states that the moon will fall towards Earth once more before sending the Nephilim to attack them. Hibiki fights against the Nephilim, but becomes distracted by Veer's words, leading to her arm being bitten off by the Nephilim. Oh god, a lot of stuff happened last episode.
I think you're having the edge of a stroke. Every couple of words were just like wrong words.
I'm having a stroke.
That's alright. The moment you started talking, I noticed your camera was off-centered again too. It's like, oh, damn it.
Here we go. Let's give you the Dutch angle here. There you go. This is more exciting now. So, now we also have comments now. First is from Seraph Amoros. The Disaster Squad should probably have expected a quick Fine return. Considering you don't even need to have a relic to awaken his Fine, you just have to be around one that emanates an off-walking wave. Just standing near a Symphogear fight would be enough for it to happen. Alright, back to reality. So yeah, no, all that information is correct. Fine could return at any time, anywhere, and you really can't stop her. It really should just be expected that it'll happen, and I think at the end of the season, like, they totally said, like, we'll be ready when she comes back. But they only kind of, like,
Well, I guess Fine is a singular consciousness, because I don't know any other reason why she couldn't just return with, like, an army of herself.
Right. I'm not sure if they actually hit on, like, that explanation anywhere or anything. They only said, like, I'm in everybody's genes or something. And that's as far as they explained.
That's what she said.
Curse you.
That's making up an explanation, because I don't know any other reason why a bunch of Fines couldn't just wake up at the same time.
Right, and Fine will keep returning every season of this show. That's all that I can expect. But up next, we have Oleb23. Welcome to Symphogear. We actually have a real budget this time edition. Oh boy. The first song that plays in this episode, Apple, has an odd terminate, the Lulu Amel, which popped up exactly once before in Symphogear so far, in a private rant by Fine. Lulu Amel is a Sumerian word meaning ancient man, but more importantly, it almost exclusively shows up in the context of ancient alien conspiracies and how early man was enslaved by aliens pretending to be gods. I'll let you ponder the significance of that. Alright, we are totally getting the aliens. I was right. I've been right all along. It's aliens.
I mean, I've already heard, enough ancient aliens guy for that. Sorry, I kind of drifted off in the middle of that. Sorry, I should have prefaced before that sounds disrespectful. I didn't drift off in the middle of your comment. I'm the one that reads the comments and responds to them on YouTube under the Stoneface Reaction screen name, or Ractus screen name, so I've responded to you directly already, so this is the second time I've actually heard it. It's just that when I heard Lulu Amel, I thought, oh, Robbie Amel's sister, or something like that. Robbie Amel is the guy who plays Green Arrow on the CW show. And I just thought it'd be funny. Oh, Lulu Amel, you use a Sumerian name for my sister or whatever, and it's like ancient man. It's like, oh, Lulu is a girl's name, so you wouldn't want a girl named Lulu to be named Ancient Man. I don't know.
But this
Maybe
is
in
definitely
this
like
era.
in line for the show, right? Having a song about apples, ancient man, god, and aliens just kind of all wrapped into one. I love this show. I really do. This is amazing. This is everything I want. It's absolutely bonkers, and every minute is joy.
And now another 20 minutes of me talking about Robbie and Mel from Arrow.
So, tell us about the CW some more. Next up is Joshua. Let me get a drink. To clear up that timing issue, the attack on the military base is implied to have taken a couple of hours or so. Chris and Hibiki were taking the helicopter back immediately after they finished off the noise there. Veer, the scientist, would have plenty of time to leave before them, as no one would knew when he disappeared during the attack, and he had Solomon's cane the entire time. The attack on the base happens, he sneaks out with the cane to head to the concert. Sometime later, Hibiki and Chris finish their fight and get onto the helicopter. And then part of the way there, the attack on the concert begins. Okay, so they have a couple of hours, they have some time to do a couple of their sets, and then in the middle of it, after like their one or two songs, then they do now they attack. Okay,
You
now
were you were the only one confused by this, Griff. This
was
comment was all for you. Yeah, you couldn't figure it out.
I thought it made perfect sense to me.
No, you were the one going on about how it suddenly became night or something. I don't remember your exact argument, but you were the one going on about how they could be here or there if this just happened.
Theta, we are now in a state of quantum being incorrect. Like, somebody here is wrong, and we won't know until we collapse the waveform. So we're gonna go to the next part of this comment.
How about the fact that I do the editing for this as well? Which means that I saw the episode twice now. Oh, also, I'm the only one going back to the YouTube channel, so maybe 3 times now. So maybe you can close that quantum state that you find yourself in to the answer that I've already given you.
But if I ignore it, I can keep thinking I was right. So,
No,
also,
that'll just exist in 2 places because you haven't observed the correct one yet.
Also, your discussion about genetics is very interesting and definitely something well worth remembering in the future. It's going to play a role in multiple seasons. Yeah, we're gonna get Fine forever. Symphogear is one of the few examples of a show that basically follows every thought fully to its conclusion. There is such a strong logical consistency in pretty much every element of the show. This discussion about genetics will end up becoming a great example of that for you, although you won't see how much until later in the series. Honestly, that encapsulates why I love this show. We have the bonkers ancient alien stuff. We have the Christian occultism stuff happening. And everything is followed through and logically consistent and references back to exactly what they said earlier. I love the show for being on point every single time.
You know, Griff, there's one thing I've always said about Symphogear, is how it's full of logical consistencies. Sorry, we just shaped my face back into its normal form.
Take a breather there. Undo the tension. If it sets up a fact that is true in that universe, it continues on with that fact being true, and then goes with the externalities of that. It goes, if that's true, with everything else being true, then A plus B must be C here, right?
I think what we're working with here is a turn of phrase more than we are with a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Logical consistency is just 2 words you tend to put together. I think you can be consistent without being logical. This thing makes no logical sense, but it's consistent with what's happened so far.
It's within its own system of logic. I suppose it makes sense.
Oh, now you're just stretching.
Maybe I am a little bit.
You end up burying yourself on the moon to make this work.
So, speaking of moons and stuff, the moon's gonna destroy the world, right?
Well, see, I don't know what's going to happen here because I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the kind of show. It doesn't feel like the kind of show that's going to leave Hibiki missing an arm. I think we've already covered this before. We were talking. So we record these 2 weeks apart. So conversations we have at the end of an episode, and it seems like we've completely forgotten what we said to each other. That's why it's 2 weeks apart. I believe I said something about Fine's regeneration armor or something like that happened last season.
Yeah.
Possibly coming into effect. Because again, it just doesn't feel... As much as I rant on all the other shows that we watch here on the channel about things not having consequence or characters feeling immortal, this just doesn't feel like the show where it feels right just to have Hibiki missing an arm for 3 seasons more to go. So
right. On one hand, the general thesis of like this genre of show is, of course, like, yeah, the heroes always win. They're completely uninjured. Maybe they get a little bruised up, but nothing bad happens to them. But at the same time, Symphogear goes hard. It's totally fine just murking people.
I mean, it was surprising enough that when we got into the first episode of this season, the moon was still wrecked. It's like, oh, they forgot. They remembered the moon.
I know.
Step up from a lot of shows.
I know, and that's what I think, at least I mean, when I say logical consistency. They follow through with the thoughts like, wait a second, the moon exploded, doesn't that have further consequences? Meanwhile, you go over to DBZ and it's just like, they blow up the moon every other week. It's
Once
fine.
Again, Griff, I'm going to counter you with ancient Sumerian alien gods trying to destroy the moon for any reason is not logical. It's consistent, though, with the story and narrative of the show. So... Again, it's a turn of phrase to just put those 2 words together. I don't think it's required.
All fair enough. All completely fair. So, I think on that note, let's go ahead and get walking.
Before you jump into that, I want to see your version of the Sherlock Holmes mystery, where Sherlock Holmes logics out every little alien puzzle along the way.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna write that story. See you next time. So, but for right now, then, on that note, before we get Sherlockin', be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe, and of course, leave a comment down below to feed that algorithm. And if you want to support us just a little bit more, you can head over to Patreon. It's only $5 a month, but it helps the show just a little bit extra. I actually forgot they got Spiderweb last time.
Yeah, no, that's why they're not helping. So try not to talk that much because I want to get the whole bite this.
The Bite 87.
Damn it, Griff. I stopped talking because I wanted it all on screen.
Well, at least somebody ate lunch today.
What if we're getting double faked out?
Oh?
Season 1 starts off with the girl at Hibiki's grave.
Uh-huh.
So we keep expecting Hibiki to die. Then at the very end, we're back at Hibiki's grave, and it turns out Hibiki's alive. What if Hibiki dies?
Guys, for real, it's just like, well, we still have the fake grave. No, did anyone go back and, remove that after it was revealed that she was still alive? Did they just kind of leave it there? Just go, it's like, nah, we'll get to that later?
It just be a
What's
big
the
old
policy on that?
Just be a big old fake out that, you thought she was gonna die in season 1, and then she dies in season 2.
Jason Frank steps up. Have you ever faked your own death before?
Have you ridden a bicycle on a storm before? Didn't happen.
False.
It was a great show. It was a good show. Actually, as a kid, I got scared by it, so... There was one of them where a kid, disappears into his closet and never gets seen again. And I was like, I don't even remember if that was true or not. I think it was actually true. It's like a missing kid story. And the last time they were ever saw was one of their friends saw them go into their closet, and they looked for them in the closet and they weren't there, so like did a magic trick or something. But, the implication there is always like the mother abducted them or something.
Right.
But still, it's a scary thing as a kid. Went in the closet, never came back out again.
That's like pre-internet creepypasta right there.
We all knew Vera was evil the moment we saw him.
Oh yeah. And he's having so much fun now.
No, you didn't. The Symphogear is literally embedded in her chest, not her arm.
I guess the armor counts.
Yes, we all understood that.
So if Hibiki keeps growing her arm back, he'll be able to feed Nephilim for as long as possible.
どこに行くつもりですか？あなたたちに命じているのはこの場での待機です。あいつは人の命をもてあそんでいるだけ。こんなことが私たちのなすべきことなのですか？
私たち正しいことをするんですよね。間違ってないとしたらどうして
What is your plan?
I think right now the plan is literally to watch Dr. Veer do himself in.
No, I mean, what is their overall plan? They're considering that they're on the right side. And the more
like
she
converts
converts herself, the more she loses her memory and becomes Fine.
Mm-hmm. I feel
Why
like
did she
they
have
actually
two of
answered your
those?
question last time, but we forgot.
No. They
Oh no, that's from the person who died. That's why she has it.
完全生物ネフィリムはいわば自律稼働する増殖炉。他のエネルギー体を暴食し、取り込むことでさらなる出力を可能とする。さあ始まるぞ。聞こえるか？覚醒の鼓動。
when he's holding Solomon's cane just off screen a little bit, and you can only see the bit of it on the edge. It looks like he has a dual disc attached to his arm.
Ah, now there's the crossover roll waiting for. Now the Shadow Hibiki get her arm. Oh, still armless, okay.
Now she's the real early on Naruto.
Hibiki with the power of the nine-tailed fox.
暴走だと。
Her observational notes.
I guess they saw the last battle.
She didn't write any notes down after that battle because she was in the battle the whole time.
まさか。やめろ、やめるんだ。成長したネフィリムはこれからの新世界に必要不可欠なものだ。それを。
The moon is still falling right now, isn't it?
Yeah, technically.
I believe that was a question we left off on. I don't know how the Nephilim is going to prevent the moon from falling and killing
I remember exactly how. The goal is to go ahead and unite all the world's governments and take control so that they can actually solve the moon problem. That's the thing that he stated last time.
I'm pretty sure that's something you stated. I don't believe he stated that. I remember that being your theory about how this was all going to work.
Making the big monster afraid is like a mood right there.
So I guess
Oh, she
Vera
fin-
just happens to be a mid-boss. You always want to start talking the moment.
It's we've had thoughts to go.
No, that was my whole thought. I'm just observing the fact that this has happened every time now.
船の生物の制御不全を引き起こしました
I was thinking like Hibiki finally got a weapon.
ママ
こんな時に
聞こえてる？マムの具合が。
立花
なんだってんだ。
よせ立花もういいんだ
お前黒いの似合わないんだよ。
And he just gets swaddled away.
こんなバカ。
So yeah, when she regenerates in that form, it sticks.
There you go, we learned something.
左腕は無事なのかしっかりしてマム至急ドクターの回収をお願い
あの人を。
応急処置は私でもできるけれどやっぱりドクターに見てもらう必要がある
I don't think you can first aid that.
わかったです。
First aid is just to keep people from dying before they can actually get attention. She's thinking the right thing here.
私がフィーネを背負いきれて
I don't think you can first aid that. First aid and CPR and other life-extending shit are different things.
I mean, she also... We haven't specifically stated what her medical problem is either. I'm not about to diagnose here.
That looks like tuberculosis shit.
I know, that's what I've been thinking too. I'm just like, hold up, that can't be right.
It doesn't matter, you don't first aid internal injuries.
あれ、翼さんやクリスチャンは。そっか、またもうずっと夢に見ることなんてなかったのに。よく生きていられるわね。たくさん人を殺しておいて。知らないの？ノイズに襲われたら怪我をしただけでお金もらえるんだよ。特異災害保障。
You can't just get injured by the noise.
パパやママからの
Turns you to dust.
死んでも元気になるわけだ。マジ税金の無駄遣い。
Wow. What jerks.
Also, what a nuanced opinion of the government at the elementary school.
おかえり
It doesn't even make sense.
大丈夫だから
Hey, kids.
あなたが生きていてくれるだけでお母さんもおばあちゃんも嬉しいんだから
頑張ってリハビリをして。
Also, just a slight observation. But where are all the men in your lives?
喜んでくれると思っていたのに。
Yeah, I mean, like, where's your father? Where's your grandfather?
They're just back at the pachinko machine again, that's all.
私のやってることって調べちゃんの言うように偽善なのかな。私が頑張っても誰かを傷つけて悲しませることしかできないのかな。
I mean, this plotline's not even worth indulging.
Right, Hibiki's just like too pure and nice to like criticize here, right?
遊ぶと
Well, just the opinions of those elementary schoolers made no sense. So following it through doesn't make sense either.
面目くないご心配おかけしました損害元気そうじゃねえかまあいい機会だからしばらく休んでななんとこの立花響き休んだりとかぼんやりしたりは得意中の得意で
Ah, there you go. Some characters never change.
本当に大丈夫なのか
No, Griff.
私たちを安
The
心
only
さ
thing
せ
that really never
非
changes
常に振る舞っているの
is
ではない
more.
な。
いやそんなことはあ翼さん痛いです
すまない。
一体どうしちまったんだここんとこ様子がおかしい
You
の
understand, though, that there's only been 2 people
わけじゃないんだろ
in all of existence that we know
ご
of
めんなさい
that have regenerated shit. And one of them we're fighting against.
何もないならそれでいい。
No, but seriously, the moon is falling, right? Never mind, here we go.
米国の協力を仰ぐべきではないか米国からの情報の信頼性が低い今それは考えられませんだからアポロ計画そのものまで問題をすると言ってるんだ城南大学の方に外の協力を取り付けました
The moon will specifically crash into Japan, which is actually my favorite.
まずは関係省庁に根回しをしてからそれから本題に入っても遅くはない
Well, I mean, as closely as the JDSF works with the US military, yeah, I would assume. Yeah, let's go to the mirror. I saw that show up.
メディカルチェックの際に
You SSR.
君の体組織の一部だ
胸のガングニールが
身にまとうシンフォギアとしてエネルギー化と再構成を繰り返してきた結果体内の侵食深度が進んだのだ
生体と生物が一つに溶け合って
適合者を超越した響君の爆発的な力の源だ
Yeah, but we already knew that, like, when she sliced a factory in half.
Just gotta remind us, that's all.
この融合が立花の命に与える影響は
遠からず死に至るだろう
立花の死
And you're right again, Theta.
バカな
そうでなくてもこれ以上の融合状態が進行してしまうとそれは果たして
We've decided to call this Tony Stark disease.
皮肉なことだが
I had a nickel for every time something was getting closer and closer to somebody's heart and about to kill them. You know, I'd have 2 nickels.
明るみに出たというわけだ
壊れる立花壊れた月
FIS は月の落下に伴う世界の救済などと立派な題目を掲げてはいるがその実のい図を操り進んで人命を損なうような輩だこのまま放っておくわけにはいくまいだが響君を欠いた状態で我々はどこまで対抗できるのか
I mean, if anybody from the main cast here
戦わせるわけにはいきません
had the power to assault the moon, I would say it would be
かかる
Chris.
避難は全て先森の剣で払ってみせ
Which
ます
she literally tried last season.
なあ
Well, no, she fought the beam that was trying to destroy the moon. I'm saying Chris has all the ranged
いち
weaponry.
いち暴走しているような半人前を
But I do love that our protagonists and antagonists have exactly the same dilemma going on. If they transform too much, they lose themselves and or die.
身にまとうな
お前それ本気なのかおいなんとか言って
This age-old thing. How do I get the dog to get away from me?
私が
I'll throw rocks at it and yell at it like I never cared about it.
本当のことだから
FIS には私と雪音で対応すればいい行方をくらませたウェル博士についても目下2課の情報部が中心となって捜査を続けているたかが知れている立花の助力など無用だ
On one, this is very confusing for Chris, who's just, accepted getting into groups of people. 2, I hope Veer turns into, our main enemy, that he keeps coming back, so we have, Veer 2? Because it reads as version 2?
Oh, that's hilarious. But also, he's been walking all night just to get down from that mountain.
Yeah, it's on the cliff edge,
This-
remember?
Yeah, this dumb little nerd. I guess he's been searching.
これからやれば英雄だ。
Ah, here's the Apple song.
優しい子。マリアだけではない。私は優しい子たちに十字架を背負わせようとしている。
Hey, it's Lulu Mel.
私が間違っているのかもしれない。私です。
もしかしたらママですか？具合はもういいの？
マリアの処置で急場はしのげました。
よかった。でね、マム。待機しているはずの私たちが出歩いているのはですね。
わかっています。マリアの指示ですね。
マムの容体を見ることができるのはドクターだけ。でも連絡が取れなくて。
Right, I assumed they were looking for Veer, which was very confusing.
ドクターと合流次第連絡を。
Because he's the doctor.
了解で。
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well,
But of course, Veer has been...
there's no one else in their group, so he is the doctor.
よかった。おっと、安心した途端にこれですよ。
If only there was a pancake place around here.
どうするです？この辺でご飯食べていくですか？だけど急いでドクターを探さなきゃ。そうだね。そうするって。
They're just cute.
しかしまあ、裏若き JK が粉物食べ過ぎなんじゃないですかね。
Haven't seen that other girl in a while.
Oh yeah, it's been a minute.
I thought I was about to get Nostradamus again, but oh no, there she is.
おばちゃんもすごく元気そうでよかった。以前ほど簡単に通えませんからね。でもビッキー、これで少し
What old lady are they talking about?
The one who runs the store, I think.
ハーレムアニメの主人公並みに鈍感よね。どこかの誰かさんがね。
Still obsessed with anime, I see.
響きが元気ないって信じ
Some character traits never change.
こうしてお好みパーティーを催したわけですよ。ミクが。
Oh no, it's another American hit squad.
Again? Oh.
Well, us Americans
What-
were always bad drivers. They were probably on the wrong side of the street.
Oh, Dr. Veer, literally around the corner.
誰が追いかけてきたって、こいつを渡すわけには。
I would love it if Hibiki were just like, Veer, have you just been wandering around for like all day since last night?
The NDA is still a thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but these girls know.
Right, because they literally saw it and then sang the
Oh,
school
look at
song in
this!
support
The
of her last
speed
time.
of a flying object, right?
人の身だ。ノイズに触れて。
Ah, new information.
The speed of a flying object, though, he threw the noise, she ran at it, and still there was like 5 seconds of her singing.
He's gotten even more powerful.
Which means the noise throws at the speed of like a pillow. So what we'll do is we'll push Hibiki away, so that she'll not get into situations where she needs to transform. And then instantly Hibiki finds herself in a situation where she needs to transform.
Yup.
Also, I feel like we're not putting a lot of emphasis on how important it is that the moon is falling.
They had a whole thing where they're just like, is there anything we can do? Nah, I don't think so.
Right. But literally nobody else on the planet has even noticed the moon's getting bigger, or falling, or the tides have changed, or anything.
It's like I said, they're keeping it secret and on the down low to not have everyone panic. This is the thing you were trying to gaslight me about earlier. I was right.
No. I wasn't gaslighting you. That's literally your interpretation. Just happened to be true. But I'm saying it's one of those things you couldn't keep secret. That the moon is falling. People would notice it's getting bigger. Or hey, high tide has lasted a lot longer than it should have. Or actually low tide. It would be low tide lasting a lot longer. Well, depend on where you are. I guess in Japan, high tide would be lasting a lot longer. And everywhere else, low tide would be lasting a lot longer.
I think if I remember, like, the orbital drawings they had, it hadn't quite started falling. Like, it's reaching its apogee, and it's going to get closer from then on.
Thought this show had it next time on, and apparently I was wrong.
Nope, not at all.
No, for it to be falling at all, when he pulled it down, it already started moving.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's moving at such an incredibly slow rate as to not have the kind of panic that they were having in the control room.
Right.
Oh no, we have about a couple of years versus the rate of speed at which it should be falling, which is faster and faster.
Right. My estimate would be maybe something like a week, right? That's my vague guess of, like, how long would it take for the moon to fall out of orbit?
No, if it was a week, then a normal person would notice, like, in a couple of days, or in a day. I'm talking about, like, maybe a month, because in a month's time, experts would be able to find out within, like, a week, versus nobody knowing. You can't hide the fact that the moon is falling. Literally, fishermen would start finding out. Like, anybody who lives near the beach, why is my house flooded? Like, literally.
Why is my beachfront property no longer a beachfront?
As the moon rotates, right, it pulls the water. It pulls at the waters, which means high tide would be increasingly higher and higher at any point at which the moon is going across the landmass near the ocean. So, and incredibly so. Like Moonfall so. I mean, that movie was horrible, but it gives the point across.
Right. There's a lot of stuff that should be happening or will probably start happening soon. The series, like, kept it to the back until it wanted to pop it as a cool thing. So now is the point where it should get more and more dramatic. That's fine for me.
And it brings us back, right? This is not logical, but it's consistent.
So, speaking of things that are consistent, Dr. Veer is literally holding the heart. How long until, like, he eats it or shoves it into his chest or something?
Well,
like,
I assumed that when he picked it up that it was going to tentacle into him, but it didn't. Because remember, they've had that thing for a while. What are we on, episode 6? We saw that in... Well, we saw it in episode 1. But we didn't see him transform into anything until episode, 4? I would say the end of episode 4.
Yeah.
So it's been that thing for a while. So they need to do whatever they did before to it again to make it do anything. Otherwise, it seems to just stay the way it is.
Yeah, so we'll at least catch some of that process there. But I'm really expecting third component here. So we have Hibiki, who's dying because of the Symphogear spreading throughout her body because she's perfectly merged with it. We have Maria, who's worried about transforming because eventually she'll lose herself and merge with Vine, who also has a desire to merge with Symphogear. And then we have Dr. Veer in the Nephilim, who, in my theory, says, alright, he's also going to try merging with some of this, and you get the same thing going on, and that's our group metaphor for the season. Everybody merging with stuff.
I don't think Veer's going to try to merge with it. It might merge with him, but I don't think he's going to try. Because he's trying to be a hero.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, and if he had the power, he could be there, but yeah.
It might not read that way, because he also caused the moon to try and fall. But when he found he said the plan, right? And he said the Nephilim was the biggest part of the plan to save everybody. And then when he found it again, he's like, I found it. I'll be a hero. Because I think he's like trying to cause a problem and then solve it. And it does not involve him becoming the Nephilim, I don't think. Also, long shot guess here. Do you think the aliens look like that creature?
Yes.
Because they're fallen angels, right? And that would imply that the other angels look like that.
Yeah. My guess right now is that that's the only real monster we have in the show. We have the noise, and the noise have already been explained as like, yes, weapons, humans built, so they can look like whatever. But this thing is different. So, no, I'm excited to see what happens with it. Right now, though, just to conclude on the Dr. Veer stuff, he's been wandering around for a while. He clearly doesn't have any sleep. He hasn't shaved. He's a little on edge. Nothing he's going to do is going to make sense next episode.
No.
Doesn't matter what happens, it won't.
I mean, nothing he'll do will accomplish anything, that's for sure. But I don't know about making sense. He seems to always be manic, so I don't know that it matters what state he's actually in.
He's in a hyper manic phase right now, so he's gonna be fun.
No, I mean like last night when he was like all there, he was still manic. He's always manic.
Mm-hmm. All right then. So I think on that note, hoping to see things next time. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin. That's Theta, and we'll catch you next episode. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?